You know, you may have plenty of reasons to move right now, a new job, downsizing, maybe you want to get closer to family, but can you afford it? We're going to verify where the housing prices stand for renters and for buyers.
To verify if housing is becoming less affordable, we checked with Freddie Mac, the National Association of Realtors, the Census Bureau, Redfin, Zillow, and Rent Cafe. And the answer is yes, across the board, housing is becoming less affordable. The National Association of Realtors Housing Affordability Index keeps track and measures the degree to which a typical family could afford the monthly mortgage payments on a typical home. In 2021, the average family could afford 40% more than the price of a medium-priced home. Now, the average family can barely afford the price of the medium-priced home in the country. In all, it's the lowest affordability rate since 1989. The kicker, the Housing Affordability Index calculates values assuming there's a 20% down payment. If you have less than or none, that makes an average mortgage even more out of reach. Those numbers can explain why single-family home sales are at a 7-year low, and the homes that are selling are more expensive. The median price for a home is more than $403,000, nearly 11% higher than 2021. While mortgages are becoming less affordable for a typical family, renting isn't much better. Across the country, the average monthly rent was $2,031 in July. That's up 13.7% from the same time in 2021. With all of this, the median family income only rose 5.8% in the last year, putting a bigger squeeze on affording mortgages and rent prices.
We're back with Fran Johnson from the Fran Johnson team and Keller Williams. She's answering your real estate and housing market questions. All right, so this next question deals with how real estate agents help you and how much does it cost? It says, does it cost to get a real estate agent to help you? How does all that work?
Well, yes, we are compensated, and our agreement with the buyer does say that you'll compensate us. Typically, what happens is that the seller is paying a commission to their selling agent or their listing agent, and that listing agent and the seller agree that they will use part of that money to compensate the buyer agent. So in effect, the money really doesn't come out of your pocket. So
it comes out of the seller's pocket usually.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay. Let's talk about closing because that is one of those complicated days where everything is like all crazy. Let's go what to expect when you are closing on a house.
So when you get ready to close, all that frustrating things that you did to get your loan approval, it's finally come and been cleared to close, and the package is sent to your attorney. And they have already done the title search by that time, so they're just putting all the documents together. When you walk in, the first thing they're going to ask you for is a photo ID. And so you have to supply that. And if you're the seller and you're attending the closing, you also have to provide that. And then you need to make sure that you have your funds. Most attorneys want those funds wired in to their trust account so that the funds are immediately available to disperse once closing is over. And then you go in and you sign a big, thick pack of papers that basically says, I am agreeing to buy this house. I'm also agreeing to pay back this loan if you're getting a loan. Mm-hmm. And once that is done, there's a few documents that have to be loaded up to the a lender, and they'll give their blessing on it and give a funding number. Once that is done, it will get recorded. And after it is on record at whichever courthouse or register of deeds, then they will clear it to disperse funds and release keys.
Okay, so does that happen like in the same day? Do you get your keys the same day that you close or no?
Most of the time you do get the keys the same day you close, but every now and then, especially if I'm closing late in the day, there can be a glitch and it doesn't get on record that day. And in that case, it's not done till the next day.
Interesting. Okay, this person's asking, do I get an appraiser before I talk to a realtor, or does the realtor set the price of your home?
You set the price together. Ultimately, the seller is in control of what you price it at, but certainly the realtor is going to bring you data so that you can price it well to enter the market.
About what other homes that are comparable to yours have been selling and that kind of thing, depending on what your house offers and what it doesn't.
That's correct. And today we look at homes that are sold. We also look at homes that are currently on the market and how long it's taking them to actually go under contract. So all of that data is important.
This person's saying, I'm planning to sell my home within the next 7 months. Is it better to go ahead and sell now for the best price, or is it safe to wait until late spring?
$1,000,000 question. I would say as rates continue to rise, I think the market will flatten out. The reason they're raising it is to slow the market down, the inflation down a little bit. So I would say while the rates are low, sell now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and people are wondering about the commercials and the flyers that say that we buy houses for cash. Is there anything they should be aware of with those things?
There are legitimate companies out there that do that. They're called institutional buyers. And usually they're buying the houses either to buy at a discount rate from you so that they can flip it and sell it again in just a few months, or they're buying it to rent. And most of the time, the offer that they give you will be less than what you can actually get if you put it on the market.
Good to know. All right. Thank you so much, Fran, for your time and your expertise. If you missed any of this, it's going to be in our website in the Who Wants to Know section.